This is Swarfcast. I'm Noah Graff. I am very honored to have Federico Veneziano, CEO and founder of BoldX, and an old friend of mine by now. This is the third interview. I think that's a record. I don't know if I've done 3 interviews, but I mean, aside with my Babo. But other than that, and really the first time Veneziano with Federico and I did an interview, the technology sucked, and we even had to do it over again because the sound sucked. So really, it's the 4th interview. Just to get started, I want to know, just brief, what is BoldX, so people know what the context is of this interview.
Okay. No, first of all, it's an honor for me to be here. I know you for many years at this point, and again, as you said, is third time. So I guess it's good. I guess if you still invite me again, we had good conversation before, but it's just an honor also to be here and share a little bit part of what BoldX Enterprises is, what is under the concept of BoldX, and just looking forward to kind of have a great discussion. But I think what is missing a little bit in the business is boldness in a lot of places. And that's what is about BoldX Enterprises.
That's how you got the name BoldX.
It's a longer story, and I think it will be for another day. We are going to a little bit of personal stuff, but I have people around me that gave me a couple options. I gave him the story, what I was trying to build and what I was trying to do, and they came up with a name, and they gave me actually 5 options. And the first one that it really caught my eyes was BoldX, and independent of what people believe, I'm a God believer. I read the Bible, and boldness is very important to me. So
very cool, very cool. So tell me what BoldX does. You said there's several businesses you have. Let's just go over what they are, and then we can focus on one.
This is very good because BoldX Enterprises is not a company, is not an industry, but is I like to say that is an enterprise that is industry agnostic, meaning we have a multiple industry that support each other. We're talking about creating pretty much an ecosystem, pretty much from point A to point Z. So from the creation to the end, and I'm trying to support all the different entity and I try to find people that are aligned with that vision and people that want to support other people that want to see other people level up, people that want to see people empowered. And we're trying to create an environment. We are trying to create something special and something that has not been done yet.
All right, Federico, everybody's on the edge of their seat here, but down and dirty, you are in the machining business. At least that is one of your businesses.
Yes. That's what I started. That's a little bit of my soft spot as an engineer, and how my journey started. My journey started in a manufacturing company, so I still have the love for the machine.
Yeah.
For the
I'm gonna want to get a little bit of the bio of that, because it's so, your life, your career has just had such a journey, and I think people are going to be fascinated by it. But what do you guys make? You're in the aerospace sector. You're in automotive. What you make parts for what industries? And just give me the nitty gritty about maybe just the machining aspect of your.
Yeah, when we talk about machining, yes, we make part for aerospace. We make part for defense. We make part for industrial application. We are really, really shying away from the automotive, not an environment that I want to be, just because of the way that is they polluted that environment. I'm really not interested to compete for less than $1 thing. I just want to do things that have value added. So we are not only doing the machining, but we're also doing product. We are really focusing on the value added today. That's where the real value we can bring to our customer, bring solution. We added multiple areas of expertise inside the company, not just in the just in the machining like we were before, but even in the development. We've been developing product. We've been making product for other people. We've been bringing product to the market. So it's been a very, very interesting, pivotal moment for us.
Very interesting. Okay. How big is the company so people have an idea? What's the turnover?
Today, we are about 125 people. I believe that next year we're gonna have another growth spur, I call it. That probably we will be close to 150, 175 people. But again, these are all forecast number. We all love forecast, but still forecast. So we need to see what is gonna happen. But what everything that we have on the table, especially with the product and the quantity that we are seeing, we're gonna need to boost our team.
And I mean, like, what's the turnover? What's the revenue for, just so people understand how big the company is?
Okay, that's something that I'm not gonna go too much in detail, but I can say that we've been around the 20-25 million to
Okay.
start. But next year, that number is not gonna be even a discussion. I mean, we're gonna be much higher than that.
All right. Well, that gives people an idea. Okay. Now, I want to just take it back a little bit to how you started. And, you started in Italy. You worked for DMG. I want to get a brief history of that because I think it's really important to know where you came from and know your journey because, you know, a lot of it, just to preview, a lot of it has really been dramatic, happened fast all of a sudden with your new company. But let's just take it way back for a minute. What was your first introduction into machining? How old were you?
I was 12 years old. It feel like a lifetime.
How old
And
are you now?
I think I don't want to share that.
Oh,
No,
come on, Federico.
no, come on. I'm 47.
Oh my God. I'm 45. You've done like a zillion things. I'm like, Jesus. Okay. So you were 12 years old. And what kind of machines were you working with?
At that time was kind of a little bit of a multiple kind of a machine from CNC machines, some mechanical, some they still have the tape. It was a very interesting. I started in a small company.
What were they
Uh,
making?
Actually, the company started making some. The name was General Gas, and they were making little bottle for replenish um, seltzer bottle. You know,
Interesting.
and then they pivot to do like manufacturing, and then it was a kind of different application for some aerospace, some industrial, just a small component parts. There was some in the faucet, especially in my area where I come from. It was recognized as the top area in the world for making faucet for a period of time.
And this was
Uh,
in where? Bergamo?
no, no, no. Actually, I'm not from Bergamo. I'm on the other side of Milan, 60 miles northwest of Milan, in the
Okay.
lake area, in a
Ah,
very small town called Omegna, and between Lago Maggiore and Lago Orta.
all right. Interesting. Okay, so you did that. You started cutting your teeth on machining when you were 12. And then, fast forward, you worked in various other kinds of shops and then eventually started working on becoming a tech.
I don't believe in predestined, but I believe there is a path that you have to go through. And very interesting enough, I found myself in a company where they had at the time I joined them a CNC machine, and I asked them if they want to see that area growing in their company, and they say yes. So fast forward to a year after that, we had I don't even remember, but over 20 CNC machine. We have all kind of robotics, all
Interesting.
kind of transfer, and one of those machine was a machine that we purchased from DMG or Gildemeister Italiana because there've been different phases and different name. If you remember, it went from Gildemeister Italiana, then became DMG, and then we became DMG Mori as we know
What
it
year?
today.
So what year are we talking there?
Now you make
Come on,
me
you're not that old, dude.
no, but you have to make me think. Hold on, I moved in 2004, 1998.
1998. Okay. And so were these multi spindles, Swiss machines?
It was we actually talked about this. I don't know if in the one of the other podcasts, but it was a machine that was the GMC 70. It really
Oh,
they call it
okay.
GM, they call it GM 70, and then when they introduced the GMC, when they went from mechanical to CNC, then they call it GMC 70. It was a 67 70, and they just introduced a new controls. There was a Siemens 840D, of which I had a good expertise already at
All
that
right, all
moment.
right. Come on. You can explain a little bit. This is a funky multi spindle uh, created by Gildemeister, CNC multi spindle. People are techies here. They don't necessarily know multi
It was
spindles. Give us the nitty gritty. It was an interesting thing, and it
It
didn't
was
catch
the
on, but
it
it was
was not a
interesting.
multi-spindle, it was not a tracker, it was a hybrid because it didn't have six spindle or eight spindle or five spindle, it has a three spindle. And there was at the level of a tracker, big diameter bar, 70 millimeter, and a
70
lot of
millimeter.
yeah, 12 station revolver and two front revolver, two station revolver. And that machine was very complicated, a lot of bugs, but a lot of fun to run it because if you have something in mind, you can make it on that machine.
So it was basically, I think because I'm pretty simplistic in my understanding of things, it was basically a multi spindle, but it was only three spindles and it was CNC and it could go up to 70 millimeter.
Yes.
Yeah, we saw one. We saw one or two in our lives. I didn't realize that it went all the way back to 1998. It did not
Yes.
catch on, but it sounds like you were one of the few people that sort of could tame that animal.
Yeah. Was fun to travel around the world and see that machine and go see different country, and then the introduction of the the true multi-spindle GMC
So
with the
wait, wait, wait,
GMC
wait, wait,
20,
wait, wait,
GMC
wait, wait, wait,
35.
wait, man, you're just skipping too much. Okay,
Do you want the full details?
yeah, well, I mean, look, I know your story a bit, but nobody else knows the story, so I'm going to keep interrupting you
No, don't worry. That's
until
what
we
we're
get a
here
nice
for.
flow. Okay, so you were working in a shop, and then eventually, how did you go from working in a shop to working for DMG?
So we bought that machine, right? And they just introduced a new control by Siemens that was the 840D, of which they didn't have a lot of expertise yet. And when we purchased the machine, like you get every time, you get installation and you get training, right?
What year was that?
I think we bought the machine 1998, was like 1999.
I thought 840D didn't come out until like 2004 or something with the at least with
No,
index.
no, 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 no way.
Okay. Okay. So
2004, I moved in the US and I already traveled for so many years.
so how
No, no,
did
no.
you bought this machine, you
Yes.
were running the company, and then what happened? You then transitioned to working for DMG. Tell me about that. How did that happen?
So when the technician came out for doing the training, what ended up to happen is they were still kind of new in knowing the control, and instead of them training me, I kind of helped them learn a little bit more about the control. They give me a little bit of the how to. the customization of the machine. That's still custom, so it doesn't matter if you know
So you
control
were
very.
teaching, you were basically teaching them.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that information went back to DMG, and I got a call out the blue and asking me if I want to join them.
And how did you feel when that happened? Were you just like, this is crazy, or were you weren't shocked at all?
I thought that was crazy. I was still a young pop when they asked me that.
How
So
old were you?
yeah, I was in my early 21.
And you were like, all right. So then what happened? They went and trained you on all their machine tools?
No, I went for a couple interviews, and they were actually in the process to start to commercialize a new machine. They want to put it on the market. There was the GMC 20 and GMC 35, and that gave me the opportunity to join them and do some work on site, but more than anything, do work around the world and experience a lot of things that I could ever imagine if I wouldn't join that company.
Because DMG, my understanding is that they didn't really like have localized distributors. They just had a bunch of people that they would send everywhere around the world to work on their machines. Am I right?
Correct. The yeah, it is, and there was a little bit of division between Gildemeister Italiana. They were under the same umbrella, but there was still some. They were not joined to the brand was not quite one. There was DMG, all the German machine. There was Deckel, Mao, and Gildemeister, and then well, Gildemeister Italiana. They were focusing on more on other kind of machine. They have branches around the world that were taking care of those machines. But when was coming about the maintenance, there was not much support around the world, so there was opportunity to travel for
Is
installation and training.
Well, now we're getting a little inside baseball here, but from my point of view, it seems like DMG or Gildemeister, Swiss, or multi spindles, they've always been kind of the stepchild of DMG. They never really gave it the respect or attention that it deserved. Do you agree with that?
Was not that deep kind of situation. It was I think the machine, and then we had to separate like the GM 70 that became GMC 70 and the GMC 20 and 35, and then the 42 later on. But is I think the when you're talking about GMC 70, that was a very complex machine. It was very difficult to get people to kind of get their head wrap around that.
Yeah.
Especially because you working around a lot of plane, a lot of dimension, and it was pretty complicated.
And I mean, you used to go to like back in the day, DMG Mori or DMG used to have the biggest booth at IMTS or any of them. Now they don't even go. They always just kind of have their own thing at their own place. But they were the biggest. They always brought in all the women from around the world. It was this big spettacolo for them. And then they wouldn't even bring a multi spindle. It was like they were chopped liver, basically. Uh,
Yeah, they actually brought it toward the tail end when you looking at 2004, 2006, that era. They brought a lot in Chicago during those shows. But the CNC, not the mechanical, was not as much uh, a thing to bring to the show. And we're talking about IMTS, right?
yeah,
Um,
IMTS, PMTS, um, but anyways, yeah, and Gildemeister mechanical machines are still considered, really something something special. If you're
I would
talking about
say that
CAM
is,
machines, yeah,
yeah, the GM20, the mechanical GM20, is one of the best machine that you have on the market on mechanical.
yeah, if you're going
Uh,
mechanical,
no
okay,
bias. It's just a very good machine, very solid machine.
yeah, well, and they're fast, and yeah, so okay, so then you're working for DMG, and then I'm very into serendipity, and then what happened? You happened to come across a nice company in Batavia, Ohio, or
Um,
have I
uh,
fast forwarded too much so far?
yeah. Now you do what I was doing. I was just trying to give the highlight, and now you moving. I can.
Okay, give me a few highlights before that because it's all fascinating. So what happened before that?
These During my travel, I decided to take a step to want to join permanently three country. So I set up an agreement with them that I was gonna spend 3 years in US, 2 years in China, 2 years in Germany, and 3 years in China, and all to really get to a point to. My interest was to understand the company, the machine, and really um, see and become part of the executive teams at
So
DMV.
did they come to you and say this, or did you go, "Hey, I want to, I want to go up in the ranks. This is what I want to do."
I always been very driven as a person, but also taking it from a level of I want to know what I'm dealing with.
So you
So
went to them and said, "This is my idea. I want to do this."
yes, I have a written
Interesting.
letter from them.
Wow, that took some coglione there to just go up and say, "This is what I want to do." Particularly because I sort of stereotype them as kind of uh, I don't know, like sort of snobby Germans, and no offense, but like they for you to go and say this is what I want to do, it's a little surprising that they would say, "Oh, okay." So then what happened? Did they come up with? Did they do your request?
Yes, I actually signed up. That's what I was saying. They give me a written letter about the program, like 3 years in the US, 2 years in Germany, 3 years in China.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
I still have it today in Italy in the safe. I'm actually very excited because I've not been going to Italy for a vacation for a long time. Actually, last vacation was 3 day in 2019, and I'm just about to go
That was the last
just
time you
about
were
a
in
week.
Italy, or the last time you were on vacation in Italy?
I cannot count. I was there for half a day because I was traveling through
Oh my
Italy,
god!
but is I was the last time I was there. Really, I can consider 2019. But
Wow,
I
that
was there like for like in Italy, like for a less than half a day in I don't remember 2022 maybe. I don't even
yeah,
remember.
that doesn't really count. Wow,
No, it
that's
was not 2022. It was 2023.
wow. Part of the reason is you're just too busy working.
I know it kind of shifted a little bit. Also, the focus with the COVID. Um, that's what happened in 2019. I went there for Christmas. I ended up to do the stupid choice to take 2 weeks of vacation, and I work most of that, and I spend with my family only 3 days.
Oh,
And the unfortunate part is in 2022, my father passed, and I was not even able to join the funeral because of COVID and other things. And
crazy.
so this is going to be kind of an opportunity to really reconnect with my family and give some time and for uh, for for that time. And it was a hard time for everybody.
Of course. So, I mean, this is giving everybody a real understanding of, your holistic education and experiences. All right. So then you did that. And then what happened?
So when I came back at the 3 days, I was supposed to go to China in February, but that was 2020, and there was really somebody talk about this virus and a pandemic and something coming really bad, and I was kind of skeptical at the beginning.
Yeah.
And
As many were.
yeah, we end up to say, okay, I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna stay in the U.S. for this time and see what really going on. And I'm very blessed that I didn't go because I probably not saying that I would still be there, but people that done
Oh, if
they
you went to
stayed there for
China.
months. Yeah, was they were kind of in China for a long period of time,
Oh,
cannot
that
get
would have
in and cannot get out. You're kind of in the limbo of the custom.
that would have
Um,
sucked.
it's almost like to be in jail. Right, really. I have story that I talk to friends is like unbelievable what that happened.
All right. All right. Let's go back. So, I don't know, it's probably what uh in the 2000 teens you're here working as a technician for Gildemeister? Is that where we'd be?
Yeah, I actually came in 2004,
Okay.
August 4th of 2004. I came in US.
Okay.
My landing was kind of interesting because my English wasn't very good. I when I arrived, somebody forget to book me a hotel room or a place to stay, so I didn't have a place to stay. In Europe, especially in Italy, credit card they are not considered as something that you have, so it was very difficult to find a place without a credit card. So the first day was a very challenging, but is everything kind of settled in the next couple days. And but one of my first project outside the company in Schaumburg, because that's where I stayed,
Schaumburg, Illinois. Okay.
um, was American Micro. And I came there because they brought a GMC 35 that they bought
Okay,
to do
American
in,
Micro in Batavia, Ohio.
yes, yeah, fuel connectors. And that was January 5th of 2005.
Okay. 2005. Okay.
Yeah.
And so you went there. What machines were you working
With
on?
a GMC 35.
GMC 35.
And it took about a
That's
year
there.
to get
That's,
it.
by the way, for people who don't know, that is Gildemeister's CNC multi-spindle. It no longer is made, but that was their multi-spindle for a while, which started off kind of slow and then turned out to be decent machines. Decent.
Yeah, it was a good machine. I cannot. The We today we still own one that was made in 2007. Probably one of the best machine we owned. And the reason why because
Because you're there.
machine they are like
Because you're.
no. I cannot take that credit. Machine are like people, so if you feed them good things, and they're gonna be lasting for a long time. And it's just about the maintenance. And for us as a human is food, and for the machine is oil and all of that.
All right. All right. Well, um, okay. So you're working on the GMC 35. American Micro had a GMC 35 and you came there to work on it?
Yes, and was a very interesting project because you will know that as for tax reason you have to have machine imported to the end of the year in order to take a tax break, right? And
Sure.
as a classical thing that happened, you have the company that maybe doesn't finish the project or is looking for the project. And I when I arrived there, there was a problem that the part was set up very much incorrectly, and the machine needed a overhaul on all the tooling and all the special spindle, pick a spindle, all the option. So it took about a year to get that project under the belt.
So you would just like go do other things, keep coming back to.
I actually no, I think I went only 3 days somewhere else in Florida in Clearwater from client. They are not more in Clearwater, but I stayed most of the year
What?
down
To
there.
set up a machine?
Yeah. Yes, they sound like crazy, but
That doesn't make any
the,
sense to me.
I understand. If it doesn't make sense to you, I can. If
Well, is
we
that
don't
does
want to
that
go.
is that say something about the technology if it took a whole year to set up the machine, or does it mean the part really wasn't meant for that machine?
The, I mean, a lot of things. One, the part was set up the opposite way that was should be set up. There was technology that was used, the gun drilling that never was done before on a multi-spindle. So, and there was a multi-step gun drilling, and you have a hole that is 3 millimeter and was 127 millimeter long. So it was not the easiest thing to do.
Why didn't they
and with
just
all of
say,
that,
let's do it a different way? This is ridiculous.
that's what end up to happen. The, as you well know, in the machining, there is a lot of politics too. It's almost like dealing with the government, and and
But wouldn't DMG
just
at that point would have been just like, no, just do it some other way?
no. What happened actually? I had to take the initiative. I actually had to decide because I was not getting anywhere. There was we spent about 3 months in trying to make the part, but it's really when you're looking at the part, and I'm not gonna go in the details about the technicality why it was wrong to do it in that way, but it was pretty much impossible to get to a good part, especially for the tolerances. So when we rotate the part, at that point we had a different set of tools that we need to make, and there was a special like a picker spindle without like that was able to take the part for 100 millimeter, so overreaching. And then there was special tool, front tool for the gun drill with a special high pressure rotating tool, rotating spindle. So there was a lot of development that went with that. It was not just rotating the part and start and we go. So a lot of time was lost in a really develop new spindles and new technology for the machine to make the part happen. But at the end, we were successful. But that kind of create a little bit of a friction inside the company. Um, we don't want to go down that the
No, I
story.
think the
You know the
I
story.
don't know the
You
story,
know,
but I can imagine the story. The
yes.
story I'm thinking that I'm putting together in my brain, and I could be wrong, but you spend a whole year at a company, you start getting a relationship. Am I right?
Yeah, oh, that's for sure. I was already asked multiple times during that year if I would join them, but I'm a kind of person that is, if I make a commitment and I made the commitment to DMG, I was loyal to DMG. But somebody cross a line during that relationship between me and DMG, in within DMG, that at that point there was no reason for me to be loyal to that company anymore. I kind of regret it because I love the company, a lot of good people. I have a lot of good friends. I'm still talking. Some of them are still talking today, and it's very unfortunate how that happened. But sometimes things happen for a reason, and today I know I
You
didn't
wouldn't be
know.
here had it not been for that
Correct,
ridiculous job.
correct. I didn't know that day, but I know it today, and it's just
There's some
I
serendipity.
always have to look in and look back and say now it makes sense. And like I said, I'm a God believer, and God surprised us in many
All
ways.
right. So, you spend a year there. For some reason, nobody gave up on this stupid job. I have no idea why I mean, it must have been lucrative if somebody spent a whole year on it. You got to know the people at the company, and then something happened. And then what did they say? Federico, we want you.
No, that's what I was alluding a little bit before. There was a little bit of clash in within ourselves, DMG, myself, this around this project. Statements were made that were non-factual and very wrong, and I decided to leave the company. And I didn't know where I was gonna
Did
go.
they
I didn't
say,
have
did
another
they
job.
say, did they blame you or did you blame them or was it both? Or did you go, this is nuts that we're spending a whole year on this job?
No, I think I was blaming a little bit on me that we finally got the machine running, and we made a project that is really probably one of the most difficult projects that is you encounter. Just not about the feature of the part, just when you're talking about material, using gun drill, there is no guiding bushing to. It was just, and there is a total internal run
I
out
didn't
to
even know
check
that a
and
multi
everything.
spindle could do gun drilling. I don't even know what the heck gun drilling is.
Correct. That was the first machine that really do a true gun drill hole.
Okay, so you leave DMG. And then what does American Micro says? Hey, we like you. Is that what happened?
No, as I told you, I didn't had a plan. It kind of ended up to be like during the holiday. It was just about almost was 2005, just about this day today.
Wow.
That is kind of crazy even
20
thinking it because
years.
yes, I think plus or minus a week because if I remember correctly, it was just about 10 days to Christmas, and what we are about 14, so just around that. And I kind of I didn't know what we were gonna do. You cannot find a job really during holiday because everybody's closed. I didn't know, so but you have a relationship and people that care about you, they call you, say what
So
happened,
who
and
called you?
they they do. Some people at American Micro just checking in how I was doing and for the holiday. Again, I spend most of the year, and just that led to open a door to join
Right. And
them.
you already knew people because you had been there.
Yes, it was an easy transition for me. So it was actually easier transition to there because I spent all year long, and I had an apartment in uh, not quite Chambord, but was Roselle in Illinois, like just outside 90.
Right.
And
How many hours is it from Schaumburg to Batavia, Ohio? Which is basically Cincinnati, right?
yeah, Cincinnati. Um, if this goes to record, I might get a ticket from for the past. No, I think is about 6 hours.
Okay. All right. So,
See, I play this
so
safe.
they, so they, so then they said, we want you. And what did they hire you to do?
I really joined them in as a position as a senior process engineer, and really it was an easy transition for them too to just give me that project to oversee at the beginning until I was getting some paperwork done, right? Because the matter of fact, at that time I still had L1H blanket petition visa,
Uh-huh.
and I needed
Because you were brought over by DMG. That was how you got the visa. So then what did American Micro do? They, well, once they employed you, then they could use the visa to keep you over there?
no, it's a little bit more complicated than that, and is first of all needed to be legal, and that's a very interesting topic today.
Uh-huh.
The thing was that is I was subcontract by DMG. Again, I still have people that were trying to get me back, and so that was kind of a way for them to keep me close.
Interesting.
So they allowed me to work as subcontract at American Micro for a period of time as I was getting my other paperwork straight up.
Okay. So then how did you, it sounds like you pretty quickly, um, you know, did other things at American Micro. You got to know, let's go a little faster now because, I want to talk about all the exciting things you're doing now. How are we doing on time? You got about 20 minutes left? Okay.
Yes.
So fast forward, you work your way into the company. You tell everybody about American Micro real quick.
Yeah, American Micro was a family-owned business. Was founded in 1957 from a Swiss immigrant. Interesting story there too. When you're looking at the Alps and where I come from and where it was coming from is on the other side of the Alps. Probably if you can fly over, it takes not even an hour.
Interesting.
Um, but if you had to drive, is just because you go up and down different
So it
mountains,
was
it's gonna
two
take like four
brothers.
hours. The founder was their father.
Okay.
Then they had six
What were
siblings.
their
There
names?
were two Rene and Pierre. Then they had four sisters that were a part of the family. So that those are the six siblings of the family that were still part of the company, but really Pierre and Rene, they were the two that were running the company. The sister were doing their own work somewhere else, and or we had a sister that joined us in some fashion, in quality
And
or
then
different.
you eventually worked with Renee pretty closely.
Yes, I actually had the opportunity to work with both Pierre and Rene pretty closely. And then just the way the life kind of work and the position that I was in, I did all kind of different operation, quality, supply chain, sales, engineering, kind of different position in within
So
the
you learned
company
everything.
that allow me to really spend more time with Rene. Um, it's not that it was the beginning was a preference, but we became very good friends. That what happened just because we spent so much time on the road together.
Right.
And but I thought that was a good opportunity for me to learn more about the company, really knowing the company in the depth.
Right. Right. So he kind of took you under his wing, would you say?
Yeah, I think, and even they say that I say that very humbling, right? I think um, I think to learn from it, and he had to learn from me too. So it was a kind of a
Yeah.
collaboration. That's what I think that is the most important thing today. Also, um, even when you're looking in different partnership and in different thing that I'm doing today, everything I structure, I always looking under the lens that is two people is better than one. If you have a good alignment and you can really, when you have a good alignment and you have the same vision or the vision that being cast of one of the two and we are aligned to that,
Hmm.
you now multiply that. So if your values 10 and there's somebody else values 10, together it's not 20, it's really 100. That's one of the most important thing today that people have to understand in business.
Interesting. Okay. So um, a few years ago, uh, Renee passed, and then you at this point owned what? You had bought into the company. You had 10%, 5%,
Yeah, looking at close to like 14%,
14%.
and just different decimal, but I'm just rounding.
Okay. And after it got to a certain point, it's a family company, kind of, people have gotten older. Um, then I don't know.
Can I say something very interesting about the ownership?
Yeah.
Is that story came about? People knew about my ownership in the company American Micro just very recently when I did the other transaction. I really always kept that very close to me, other than strategically some people that knew it. But is other than in within the company, most of the people didn't even know I owned something. There maybe was some speculation, and in family business, you have a lot of kids of the kids of the kids, and
Sure.
sometimes thing you don't even make it do it on purpose. It's just casually talking, and maybe you say something that. But I try to always don't use that as a leverage. I always like it to people see for who I am, and how I can help them, and how I can be a service to people, and it really I think really pay dividends too, because really owning something, yes, there is a lot of more. It's not about title, it's really about responsibility and purpose. But really, that doesn't mean that you can treat people bad, or you have to take advantage of the
Of
situation.
course.
So
Of course.
that's very important to me.
All right. So and you can delve in as much as you want, but so it gets to a certain point where Renee passes away, and
2022.
2022. So your partner, the guy who you worked with for a while, and then what was going through your mind? And again, if
Um,
you want me to edit this out, that's fine. I'm just curious.
No, I think I can share a very high level. There was multiple things going on in my life at that time. I'm not gonna go in many details. I don't think this is the proper place to do it. And it was a moment in my life that I needed to make a decision. Again, that year was very hard for me. Like I said, Renee passed, my dad
Oh,
passed,
that's
and then
right.
within
That's
like
right.
two in a couple months period, and again, other thing, some problem with customer, some problem personal, and it was time for me to make a choice and make a change and make a proposal. Again, the company family owned, generation two, some of generation three in it, some of the generation three very much not in it. Not very much a plan for the company, what is going to happen. So, in my life, I needed something to step on something very more secure than that. Not because the company was not secure, but it's like there is no plan, don't know what's gonna
Well,
happen. Is
before
now
Renee died and before you went into this interesting transition in your life, had you ever thought about
yes,
buying it?
yes, yes.
Okay.
This was my attempt three,
Hey,
by the way.
okay, so you had talked to Renee before about
Yes,
purchasing
yes,
the
multiple
companies.
way, multiple structure, but this was a place that I needed to say now or never. I need to do something. I need something to just come out of where I am
So
today.
how does somebody who owns 14 and change percent of a company become the sole owner?
That's a very interesting story by itself. One thing is the small ownership means nothing, right? And
What means nothing?
the small ownership. So that's not how I made the money. Not how I use a lot of I brought to the company a lot of value, patience, and alignment, but also I was doing a lot of things outside. And I always, other than this year where I really had to push myself to come out of in the spotlight a little bit. So, and so you even commented on a couple of things and tell me, hey, you have a lot to say, but in general, I was trying to be under the radar person, but I have a lot of things that were going on. I went to school. I had in this time frame. I also got three different degrees. I started probably I don't remember the exact number, but probably seven different businesses through this time. My own other businesses. So I had a lot of things going on in the background, but all for build me up and try to understand and crack the code of about business and
And
partnership.
did all your educations really help you in the end? Or was your education of life that you had really the thing?
I think most than anything, education in life. I had a very good youth. I had a very great mentor that I think he created a very good foundation. That's in itself could be like a really a topic to talk about an hour alone.
Yeah,
How's
we're probably going
important.
to have to continue this.
Uh, Important to us to really have that foundation and how actually us as an adult today we put that in the youth and I will spend the time to give that kind of material because when you go into education and everything is a bunch of garbage today and I don't want to be here sound like complaining, but the beauty and the positive part we have an opportunity to make an impact to these people. We can help them to become they are the future, and we need to spend our time to really give them the tools like somebody else invested in me one time and say okay this is the what you need to do.
Okay, so you had a whole bunch of businesses going, and then
Yes.
how the hell do you buy a company that's to $25 million in revenue, and you, I mean, I don't know, maybe you had a bunch of money socked away, but how, or is it just too complicated to talk about?
I think it's kind of complicated, but again this you have to understand was a little bit of a more amicable transaction, right? And I mean there is a cost to everything, and but I leverage multiple things to make the transaction happen and pretty happy with the result and pretty happy where we're going as a company. More to come, really.